What is up, Mohawk Nation? You are listening to the king of accountability, the facilitator of awesome, the ambassador of badass, and defender of freedom, the prognosticator of potential problems, the prophet of political propaganda, the freaking Mohican, Tony Styles, right here on the Tony Styles Show. The Tony Styles Show is the fastest growing show in America right now. In 1 year, just 1 year, we have taken this show from being a local Omaha radio show to national syndication. Together, we're taking liberty to the mainstream. We have a great show lined up today. We have Wayne Allen Root. Wayne Allen Root has the best-selling book, The Ultimate Obama Survival Guide, something that everybody should read. I've read a little bit of it. I haven't finished it yet. But this book, it was interesting from what I've read anyways. Wayne Allen Root, you may know him. He was the Libertarian vice presidential candidate in 2008. He has then gone to become a Republican, which I have a little bit of a problem with, but the way that he explains it from what I've heard him say in other interviews is because he doesn't see that a third party could ever win a big election. And I disagree with that, but I'll let the man talk. He's an interesting guy. He always presents the facts, and facts are something that I always will support. And he has a lot of great facts. The Ultimate Obama Survival Guide is a great book, and he's been able to present the story very well, and I'm looking forward to talking to him about that book as well as his move to the Republican Party from the Libertarian Party. We're also going to be talking to comedian Adam Carolla. Adam Carolla is the host of the Guinness World Record holding podcast for the most downloads, The Adam Carolla Show. You may know him from things like Loveline with Dr. Drew and The Man Show. Great show. Him and Jimmy Kimmel were hilarious together. Great guy, very libertarian leaning. Right now, we have Wayne Allen Root on the phone. Let's go ahead and talk to him. You have a best-selling book right now. Tell me about this. It's the Obama Survival Guide. Is that right?
It's the Ultimate Obama Survival Guide. It's been out for 8 months. It's the 7th best-selling political book in the United States for the last year. It's the 3rd best-selling conservative hardcover book in America, only beaten by Bill O'Reilly and Mark Levin. The Ultimate Obama Survival Guide. It opened at #1 in the country and stayed in the top 5 for 10 consecutive weeks. I'm very proud of that fact. That was 8 months ago, and as of today, as we do this interview, it's back in the top 10 in both political and finance books at Amazon.com, and it's back in the top 10 because it's so timely, Tony. Everything I write about every day, everything I talk about on Fox News and on radio shows all over the country, are the predictions that I made in that book that have come true, chickens have come home to roost over Obamacare and over Obama's executive decision on climate change and over what's happening on a daily basis that I predicted in that book was going to happen because I know this guy like the back of my hand, and I know him that well, and I know the way he thinks, and I know what he wants because we're college classmates from Columbia University, class of '83. So I know exactly what his agenda is. I even know the plan. It was hatched while I was at Columbia. I witnessed the plan and what they said they were going to do to America, and it's what Obama's doing on a daily basis right in front of our eyes.
We're talking to Wayne Allen Root on the Tony Styles Show. Tell me, if you can, give me a little bit of a preview of this book. First question that I have is, does this end well? Because I'm looking at things and it seems bleak. What can we expect? Is the world going to come crashing down upon us like everybody says?
Well, I'll tell you what, it's not as if the world is going to crash upon us. It is crashing upon us as we speak.
Amen,
the
brother.
American economy is in free fall. Here's some things the average person doesn't have a clue about because they watch the mainstream media or read the mainstream media, and they don't report any of the bad facts to the American people. And you can't make stuff like this up. I've got sources for all of this. First of all, 90 million working-age Americans, able-bodied working-age Americans, are not working, the highest in history. Not 9 million. 90 million people who are capable of working are no longer working. And the reason you know that's true, by the way, is because when you add up the amount of Americans on welfare, food stamps, disability, and unemployment, it comes out to about 90 million. So that's 90 million people who no longer feel like going to work because they make more money with government checks than they ever would going to work and paying the taxes on it.
Let me play devil's advocate with you on this. Could a lot of those people still be doing work under the table?
Yeah, that could be happening as well, and I wouldn't doubt that a lot of them, I would say maybe 10 or 20 million of the 90 million are actually working in cash, paying no taxes, and still collecting government checks. But that still would leave 70 million who are living only on government checks. And when you see the numbers added up in print in black and white, basically a person who takes everything government is offering at this point would make around $60,000 a year tax-free. And so why would an average middle-class or blue-collar person go to work to make between 40 and 60 and actually owe payroll taxes and maybe even some income taxes on that same amount of money to get up every day at 5 in the morning or 6 in the morning and actually put in a long day's work when you could sit home, watch Oprah Winfrey on TV or Jerry Springer, and watch a bunch of cartoons and soap operas, stay in bed all day, and collect the same money and never pay the taxes on it. It's really sickening, and that's what's happened to America for many years before Obama, but in particular, it's gone in hyperspeed under Obama. But listen, let me sum up, Tony, a few more stats.
Sure,
so 90 million Americans not working. More Americans now receive entitlements than work full-time. The typical American family earns less today, adjusted for inflation, than in 1929. There are 16 million Americans living in poverty in the suburbs, not the city, not necessarily poor areas, not necessarily black areas. The white suburbs of America have 16 million Americans in poverty.
Yeah, we talked about this on our last show. It's absolutely true. Keep on going. We're talking to Wayne Allen Drew on the Tony Styles Show. Keep on going.
The number of Americans getting food stamps is now bigger than the population of the entire Northeast, meaning if you added together New York City, Boston, Philadelphia, and every suburb around them, it's less people in getting food stamps. More people get food stamps than the population of the country of Spain. The national debt just jumped $328 billion in one day, more than the entire budget deficit for the year 2007 under George Bush. Nearly half of all Americans have less than $500 in the bank. More Americans are losing health insurance than signing up for Obamacare, and yet Obama says everything's fine. And then today it came out, it turns out that he's really rewarded his own voters because women have the lowest workforce employment record in the history of America. Workforce participation rate is the exact way it's said, but all it really means is less women are working now than at any time since they began compiling the numbers. Men have for a long time now, for a year or two, been at the lowest level in the history of compiling the numbers, and it turns out that black teens have an unemployment rate that's over 300% higher than all other Americans. So here's Obama's most loyal voters. If you look at the stats for all black people, Hispanic people, teens, black teens, college graduates, single women in poverty, anything you name that has voted 80% or more for Obama, every one of them is suffering. Every one of them is enduring tragedy under this president. They vote for him. They like him. They defend him. They must be literally either ignorant or they must be self-destructive because they're voting for the guy who's wiping them out.
I believe that they are ignorant to it. I think it's a pop culture issue. I think it's an ignorance issue. There's a lot of things that go into it. Talking to Wayne Allen Drew on the Tony Styles Show. Tell me, what is your political affiliation? What do you consider yourself to be? What are you registered as?
Well, there's really only two parties that matter. There's the evil party called the Democrats, and then there's the really dumb party that's naive and stupid and afraid of their own shadow, cowards. That's the Republican Party. I'm a Republican.
Okay.
It's amazing to me. I used to be a libertarian. I was a libertarian presidential candidate.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
I was on the presidential ticket in 2008. I was the vice presidential nominee with Bob Barr as our presidential standard bearer. But today I'm back to the Republican Party because it's a two-party country, whether you like it or not. There's no possible way anyone could make an argument that a third party can win any national election in this country, and I plan on winning national elections, major ones. So I'm back to a party that can win elections, but unfortunately I'm back to a party that, like I said, is weak, is naive, is cowardly, doesn't understand that Obama's purposefully destroying the United States economy, doesn't understand none of this is a coincidence or mistake, and they're just not getting it, and they allow him to define us, meaning if you believe in what the Founding Fathers believed in, if you believe in limited government, if you believe that people should keep a little bit more of their own money, all reasonable things, the Republican Party allows Democrats to call Tea Partiers and conservatives terrorists, arsonists, extreme, radical, anti-American. And you know what? We got to start calling names back. We got to fight fire with fire, Tony. And here's my belief.
Can you hold on to that belief for 1 second? I want to roll into. I want to roll you into our next segment because I want to keep talking to you. Stick around. You're listening to the Tony Styles Show. We're talking to Wayne Allen Drew. We'll be talking to him more when we come back.